Hello, everyone. Today we are going to share our study related to the spectrum of teaching styles, the evolving research, where are we, and where do we go next. This presentation is a collaboration among the National Yangming Jiao Tong University, National Taiwan Normal University, and the Spectrum Institute for Teaching and Learning. The presenters are Dr. Feng-Min Wei and Dr. Deng-Yau Shy and myself, Ching-Wei Chang. Okay, so this presentation is divided into three parts. First, I'm going to introduce the background. Then Dr. Shy is going to talk about the currently where we are. And then Dr. Wei will give a talk about where to go next. So as we know, after the published book of Mostyn's Spectrum of Teaching Styles, the theory and praxis have been spread out worldwide and continuously attracted attention. For example, a spectrum-focused knowledge book was launched in 2020, which is co-edited by Australian colleagues. Okay, next. Here is another example. In the case of Taiwan, Mostyn's teaching spectrum was written in the Health and PE National Curriculum Guideline, which means that all pre-service and in-service PE teachers need to know the required teaching spectrum knowledge and praxis for enhancing students' PE learning. Moreover, with the rapid development of technology, we have tried out by using augmented reality to replace the reciprocal style with criteria sheets, which means that the spectrum can also keep pace with the times. Furthermore, the Spectrum Institute for Teaching and Learning has organized several workshops since 2022. So there are a lot of presentations about a spectrum of teaching styles. So the question arises, what have we known about the spectrum of teaching styles? And what should we know about it in the future? So in this presentation, our purpose is to dissect the knowledge of the spectrum from literature and to discover the gap in understanding of spectrum which we should fill in. So in the next section, Dr. Shy is going to give a talk about where we are. Okay, so Dr. Shy, please.
Thank you, Professor Zhang. I am Robin Deng-Yau Shy from National Taiwan Normal University, and I will report next section, the title, So Where Are We Now? I will share a few ideas about the methodology of the report. Two databases were searched using the keywords on the top right-hand side that are Web of Science and the Google Scholars. Since Mark Byra published a spectrum review in 2000, after Mark, we only selected all the articles that were peer-reviewed, evidence-based, and written in an English journal. We follow a ruling scoping review process to analyze data. Each article was reviewed individually by the first two authors. And when the disagreement comes, the third author would review the same article and provide his opinions. So the findings are, first, we can identify several studies that exempted PE teachers' self-reported use and perceptions of the spectrum, whether the subjects were pre-service or in-service teacher. This line focuses on PET system. Then we found that researchers considered cross-culture as a variable in adopting the spectrum as a way for teachers to interact with their students. Also, related to the topic of using the spectrum is teachers' preference for landmark style. Third, some studies investigate students and the teachers' behaviors or relationships in different teaching styles. This research line directly links to the idea that teaching is a decision-making continuum between the teacher and students. The comparison of the effects of style is the highlight. Fourth, it's about the effectiveness of teaching styles on student learning, like exercise habits in their everyday life living, the autonomy, motivation, and the fundamental movement skill learning, etc., etc. And then the last, the spectrum have been connected with some of the latest streams of research. For example, the spectrum and the technology, the spectrum and the national curriculum, and the spectrum in coaching studies, the relationship with model-based instruction, and the physical literacy. This all our finding in this research. And then we invite Professor Wei to next section. Please, Professor Wei.
Thank you for professors for your presentation. And the next section, I will talk about the future. I will provide some insights for future further studies. And the first one, yes, firstly, our Australia colleagues indicated that the spectrum could be a micro-pedagogy tool for models-based practice. Also, some PET programs in countries embedded the spectrum as permitting perspective for instructional models. It would be the accountability of scholars to realize how the spectrum can be embedded into any instructional model and how this will influence student learning. Secondly, teaching is not only about the pedagogy, the way teachers interact with their students. We should also think about the content of teaching. So we would argue it will be helpful to identify how each landmark style works in different learning content, such as basic lifestyles and others, as we showed on the screen. Third, Mostyn and Ashworth propose many developmental channels that could be the potential outcomes after implementing each landmark style. Usually, current studies merely examine all the effective channels, but some of them that
the researchers expected to see. Let's consider the wider spread ideas of learning goals, such as well-being, human flourishing, or physical literacy. It is suggested that we could reconceptualize how learning as a wall through channels. Our final idea is back to the very first axiom of the spectrum, highlighting that teaching is a chain of decision making and the principle of curriculum design and development. For example, Shape America has released the newest curriculum standards. Scholars are suggested to find what kinds of decisions are made in specific teaching contexts will lead to the achievement of particular standards. This kind of thinking of teaching and learning would help the spectrum tie hard with what teachers do in their daily life. So our final remark of the further spectrum research is that investigating into the spectrum of teaching styles will remain open and fruitful. It can be done within and outside PE and sports, as well as domestic and cross culture. So recommendations for further studies are a detailed scoping review and systematic review. Also, we can think about adding further data resources to enrich our findings. The final one would be we can consider to combine focus group of experts to gain ideas for further studies. This is what we want to share with you today. Thank you very much.